Greetings, warrior queens and kings. It's your host, Queen Tulsa, and welcome back to the Queen Tulsa Show. I will be your captain tonight. And yes, let's go ahead and really jump into the topic of tonight. Pretty much all about the tea is back. She interviewed Mariah.Huq. Child Dr. Jackie. It's not about throwing her under the bus, it's her words and how she felt are coming back around and circulating back around, and now she's having to face it. Peep this out. Dr. Jackie says that Black women cry wolf when they're pregnant, and child Buffy had a lot to say about it. And actually, I love Buffy. Buffy was very vulnerable in those times and made fun of. Well, we've got a lot to get into, and child, people don't know how to tell the truth. So let's get into it. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome. Thank you all for coming by. I really appreciate you. Oh, absolutely. Please like, share, and subscribe. The Goddess Tulsa Show. Welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now is the time to go ahead and get ready for the show. We have some great news for you. Okay? We're going to have a great time. So I really, really, really appreciate you and your dedication to showing up. Gratitude. Don't be afraid to hit that cash app. And don't forget to smash that like button. All right. So listen here. Let's be honest. Let's be fair. We already know that Taraji P. Henson has come out the other day and she was complaining about, not being paid fairly. Well, you know what? She just might be in luck because Mariah.Huq, no matter what they tried to take this woman through, baby, she is back and she's back with a vengeance. Okay. She has a new show and she's still creating tables for individuals to eat. If you're a creator, because I know like some of the Bravo individuals, they are on YouTube and things like that. So she's definitely taking it up a notch. Let's go ahead and get into some of the things that are going to be discussed in this live video that we are going to be listening to. This is fair use commentary, okay? This is all speculation. Everything is alleged, and we are only responding to what's out here in the news. Disclaimer, copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. This video was made for entertainment purposes and is transformative in nature. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into the commentary, right? And this is shout out to Monica from All About the Tea, a very important woman in the business. She rises. Let's go.
You can't see her tonight, but you can hear her loud and clear.
Yes, right? Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Monica, the people want to see your face, girl.
Can we just go ahead and get right into it?
Yes, let's do it.
All right now. So CNN has a series called See It Loud, where they acknowledge Black writers and creators of shows that change the game.
Okay.
And naturally, you are one of these women that are being recognized and acknowledged for creating Married to Medicine. How do you feel to finally receive your flowers?
I can't lie. It felt really good. I was absolutely ecstatic to be a part of it with people like Jody Gomes as the executive producer. She was the director. And to hear Candy and other women speak so highly of me. It touched my heart. So I think that it always feels good when people give you your flowers while you live it.
No, that's right. And you certainly deserve it because you've worked so hard.
And you know what I realized in that moment is sometimes you don't always get your flowers from the people you think you deserve them from, but God has a mysterious way of working things out. It still comes full circle. So it was a beautiful moment for me, and it was a great experience to receive those flowers, even if they didn't come from, who I thought they would come from.
Right. Amen. That's right. Steve, would you take the next question?
I'd love to. Mariah, what do you think about the demand from fans to bring you back onto the Married to Medicine show?
I love that the fans miss me and want me and desire more of me. But I think my role as it relates to Married to Medicine has been etched in stone as the creator, an executive producer. And I think I left my mark. Honey, the girls are going in a very different direction. So I love that the fans want me back. But I think if I ever were to have a role back, they all would probably want to be in caskets. But I think if I ever were to have a role, it would be much like one of my counterparts, Mr. Andy Cohen. And I love to sit on the couch and ask the girls a few questions and bring a book of receipts, So that's what I feel like my role would be if I were to ever be a part of the Married to Medicine franchise again.
The show certainly does look a lot different from the show you created, doesn't it?
Well, it looks different, but to me, I see a lot of the same old pettiness. To me, it's almost as if there is an unwritten rule or script that says you have to isolate, put someone on an island, bully, invite and uninvite. I mean, we've seen that. We've seen it 10 seasons ago with me. So, I hate that part of it. I don't think you have to isolate, and be mean and bully people. I think you can read the girls and, you can have an opinion, but there's no need to minimize somebody to that level.
You're absolutely right. Well, speaking of bullying and minimizing people, Quad, a former friend of yours who's a cast member and Married to Medicine, or was a cast member, how do you feel about Quad being kicked off the show?
I'm not sure, honestly, how I feel about it. I think I'm still kind of taking it in. I'm not sure if I think that is actually going to play out with her being off the show. I don't know if it's to get this type of response or get us, to talk about it. I think right now the show has a lot of afterthoughts and a lot of commentary about, her role or lack thereof with the role. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. I do think the way in which it was done was very low. I do. I mean, I didn't like them inviting her, all those miles away to California just to send her home. I thought it was pathetic. And I think that there are different depths of desperation. And I just didn't like it for whoever it was. Forget that it was Quad. I think that they should be better than that. And I just didn't like it. I didn't like any of it. It was brutal to watch. And I typically watch it on Empire or if you get or if people get, a lot of the bloggers get snippets of it. But I watched that episode and I was clutching my pearls. What can I say? I felt horrible for her.
Well, it sounds like you kind of have a soft spot for Quad. And I know you guys have been friends for many, many, many years. If Quad was to reach out to you tomorrow, what would that conversation sound like?
To be perfectly honest with you, it's not about Quad. I have a soft spot for women. I think that just as women, we should treat each other, treat one another a certain way. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I shade the girls and do the most, but I have integrity and I have a moral compass. And I feel like I'm cut from a different cloth as it relates to that. So I don't know what a conversation between Quad and I will look like, because for me, she still hasn't taken some accountability with things that happen in our relationship or friendship, and a lot of the lies that were told about me. However, I think Quad has been through a lot, just as I have. And I think you grow up, and so I'm not sure what that conversation would look like, but my heart goes out to her with the way she was treated.
I'll take the next one here. And I'm just wondering, for someone that's currently in an unscripted television or pursuing that venture, what advice would you give them based on the experience with you and what we witnessed with Quad that just happened?
Don't do a show with a lot of fish, a lot of women. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. No, be authentic. Be your best self. You may not necessarily fit in, but sometimes sticking out like a sore thumb works. Be yourself. Whether people love it or hate it, be your best you. And, I just think you can't go wrong when you're being authentic. I think, people sense that, and that's very relatable. And I mean, they'll love you or hate you, but they'll respect you for being you. Nobody can beat you at being you.
The other point, yes.
Absolutely. You know what? I want to circle back to Quad since we're on the topic.
Ooh, we give Miss Moore a whole lot of time.
We sure is. Well, you know what? She's a hot topic, and she was trending. So, we might as well, since we're here, we might as well.
Okay.
How do you feel, how did Quad's drug allegations affect you at that time?
Ooh, let me tell you something. I think that was the lowest of the low. And to hear these ladies talk of accountability so much and know that I was drugged that way in terms of being, accused of being Rudolph with a white nose, and the fact that she would say these things on national TV and knew it wasn't true, and none of them, came to my defense and knew how much, I had carried myself as a woman. And it really hurt me. It tore into me, and it took something away from me. And what hurt me was that I was dealing with other things. I was slaying bigger dragons, and I could not sue her at the time, because that's a lot of the questions that I get. Why didn't I give her defamation? I would have, but honey, if you're roasting a beluga whale, you can't go after, a sardine. It's just my focus was not on what Quad was saying, but I was hurt by it. But I was hurt more than anything that this group of doctors and doctors' wives knew, I had been a drug rep, I had been a reputable medical salesperson, and I was the owner of the franchise. And I've always been professional, and I've never done recreational drugs. So I thought it was bullshit, quite frankly. And I think that, those are some questions that they should still be asking, and they knew it. They knew it was wrong, and they went along with it. So I at that point, I knew that their hate for me outweighed anything.
Absolutely.
Well, and with that being said, I'm just curious, what do you think is harder, being married to medicine or being a doctor?
Ooh, I don't think it's really a comparison. I think that they are different paths. I think being a physician is a very, very hard thing. And that's why I was so intrigued by, the field of medicine, and I really wanted to give these ladies, the glory and show how hard it is to go in to save lives, the husbands, whether it's a husband or wife, I wanted to show the sacrifices in medicine. So I'm not sure which is harder. I don't think it's fair to really compare them. But I think that there is definitely a special kind of love that we should give to people that have to face that type of, to have to face illness and death every single day. I don't know that I could do that.
Now, you put a lot of Americans to work
Yes, honey, I did. Talk about it, Steve. Talk about it, Steve. Give me more. Give me a job.
Exactly.
Yes, honey.
So when it appeared that they flipped on you on the show and everything,
Flip on Mars. Yes, they did.
what was your biggest struggle with that? What was your internal battle?
I don't know. I faced a lot of battles. You know, I faced a lot of battles with that. You know, loyalty. I faced the battle of, you know, was this was my dream, and I shared it with these ladies, and I never ever. I wanted us to all grow together, and it really, really bothered me because I felt as if. No, it just tore me. It tore me up in the inside. Not that they owed me anything, but I just thought the least they could do was say thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that they gave me their asses to kiss, and it just really, I just didn't understand it. It was hurtful.
Shame on them.
Yeah, it was very
Shame
hurtful.
on them.
But
Yeah.
I think that in the end, you know, you don't sometimes do things, you know, for people to say, you know, thank you. Sometimes you just, God used you as a vessel. And I had to realize that's what I was. I was a vessel. They don't owe me anything. Respect would be great, but you know what? It comes, I get it from other places. And so I'm blessed.
You truly are. You truly are. I have a two-part question because since we're on the topic of doctors,
Huh?
we're going to get into some things. Dr. Jackie. Now, she's been making some headlines lately, but let me start with my first question. You mentioned we talked about the drug allegations and how those allegations made you feel.
Yeah.
And during that time, I remember you took, it was like a 5-panel drug test that went back 5 years, hair follicles and all kinds of stuff. And you were looking for support and you said, Jackie, can you please read drug tests? Because you're a doctor, this is very technical stuff.
Yeah.
And she could have exonerated you at that point, but she didn't. How did that make you feel?
Although it made me feel bad, I think that it showed who she was. For me, it did. I saw exactly who she was because outside of me, she took a medical oath. I'm not her patient, but to see a drug test and not even say, no, this is wrong or this is right, but this you know, this translates to X, Y, and Z. I saw something different in her, you know, and they had kind of poked out in different situations, but I'm not surprised with any of the things that's going on with the controversy with Jackie, because she's shown that since season 1. We've seen how she treated obese ladies, and we've seen how she's judged a lot of women. I mean, you give her grace because she's Dr. Jackie, but she ain't Jesus. And you know, and she makes mistakes like the rest of us. So I think one of the problems with the show is that we have put her so much on a pedestal. And why? Because because her patients are celebrities. We got to do better with that. And I think that was a part of my lesson in this journey, putting people on pedestals. Yes, they're doctors. I wanted to pay homage because of all the work and the sacrifice, but they're still people. I mean, and some of them, like my mama could say, it's nothing worse than the educated fool.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
we love Mama Lucy.
I know.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. You're right. You can't go to Dr. Jackie's office weighing more than 175 without her tearing your head off. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You are so right. So what are your thoughts on Jackie saying that Black women cry wolf and lie to get out of work while pregnant? This is a doctor saying this.
I think that it's horrid for her to plant that kind of seed about Black women when we are already fighting so many stereotypes and preconceived notions. But I think it's great that she's telling you what she really thinks. I think it's great that we've seen what she thinks about Black women and and think that we're crying wolf. And I think that we just have to take a step back, and when people show you who they are, believe them. So I hate that she's made those comments, but I saw who she was when she compared me to herpes, and she's an OBGYN and treat people with venereal diseases daily. You know, so I was one of the victims of her spewed hate. And people kind of swept it under the rug because it was Dr. Jackie, and we got to stop doing that with people.
Definitely.
No matter how many letters they have behind their name. Yeah.
Yeah. Feel bad for her.
Yeah, I can't imagine how patients feel. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I think she's at the place now. I don't think she takes like Medicare or Medicaid. She has the upper echelon people. Like you have to be a certain. So there's a certain type of patient that Jackie now sees. Yeah.
That's pretty ironic considering on her conference call with VP Harris, they talked about Medicaid patients and how we need to advocate for them. And Jackie agreed with that and gave the impression that that's the community she serves. When in fact,
No.
that's not true.
No, it's not. And I don't think that is the person that we need or want representing that patient population. My sister almost died in childbirth. She dealt with the exact same thing. She said to her doctor, I feel a certain kind of way. I think she may have had toxemia and it just, her doctor didn't listen and she almost died. So we have to listen. When your patients, I tell Aiden every single time he walks in to see a patient, I say, you go in there with an open heart and open mind. You can never, you really truly have to listen to your patients. You can't judge people. You really can't. So I think it's horrible that she said those things, but I'm not surprised. And I'm surprised that everybody in the world is acting so surprised because y'all know who Dr. Jackie is. I told y'all a long time ago.
You did.
Y'all know who she is.
You certainly did.
She showed her slip a long time ago.
Exposed.
Now, is there a new cast member that you would like to share some tea with?
I don't know any of the new cast members. And I think it's I wouldn't want them to go in. I think you have to make an assessment on your own when you go in. I think that's the worst thing you could do is go in and give your opinion in your relationship.
Right.
And sometimes it's a hindrance because when Buffy came on, I remember I loved her. Like I really liked Buffy. We hit it off. But I didn't want to be too close to her because I knew that they would isolate her for being my friend. So no, there's not a new cast member I would share anything with. I tell them, keep your eyes open, honey. Sleep with them open on the trips. And remember, what people do to others, they will do to you in opportune time.
Absolutely. Speaking of Buffie Purselle, sorry, Steve, I would love to see Buffie Purselle come back on Married to Medicine.
Well, too, yes, honey. Let me tell you something. People have slept. I don't know if they slept on Buffy or if they don't talk about Buffy. The ladies don't on the show. But baby, when I told you that lady came and she was so authentic, she was fire. I didn't cast Buffy. I cast the rest of the ladies. But baby, I hate that I did not. She is amazing, inside and out, beautiful. And she held every one of those ladies accountable. They couldn't take Buffy. They couldn't take Miss Buffy, baby. They could not take Buffy, honey. Buffy came through. She did. And had receipts, too.
Shining.
Yeah. Yeah. She's all about the numbers. She's I like her, though. And I like her relationship with her husband. And I like her style. I just like Buffy.
I love Buffy.
She was so confident. It was almost like they hated on her confidence. And her story, her challenges with, the diseases she faced and just the way they treated her. Just her talking about it was the infertility struggle that she faced. That was her story and testimony to tell and share. And they didn't give her the opportunity to do that. It's just like people competing for a storyline, but that's the girl's story. And she's young and beautiful. And I just, my heart goes out to her when she, tells her story, but she's amazing. She was an asset to Married to Medicine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she holds the girls accountable.
She does. And I think that's what they're afraid of. You have this poor group who think that they can vote everybody in and vote everybody out. And that's what they're doing. But before it's all said and gone, they're going to find themselves with 2 viewers. So see how that works out for the Golden Girls.
Not the Golden Girls.
It
Oh,
works out. I think anybody can be on the cutting board the way things are going. They don't think that. That's the scary part.
They
They
don't
don't
know.
know that. They have no idea. You know what I mean? Anybody can be on the cutting board.
Uh-huh.
with that, Get It by TV that's viewing us live has said, how do you feel about Simone?
I don't.
Next, moving on.
She can live with Lauren.
Do you know Dr. G's new wife, Sweet Tea? Have you met her?
I haven't. I haven't. I've seen her on TV. She reminds me so much of Toya.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she had something about her look. She kind of had something about her. She just favors Toya. But I haven't. I've never met her. I spoke, I think, a couple times to the showrunner, James Knox, and he spoke really highly of her and said she was just sweet and lovable and a country girl. So, I mean, I think I'd love her. Based on that, just what I've been told about her, she seemed to be a sweet girl.
She does seem like a sweet girl.
Yeah.
Do you think the show was an accurate portrayal of you?
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm team too much. I'm extra credit. So that part, people may not like it, but that is a part of me. I don't think they showed the layers of me, the many dimensions of me. You know, I think that they tried to typecast me. So no, I don't think they necessarily had an accurate portrayal because they didn't show the full gamut of who I am. They didn't show me as a businesswoman, the fact that I own the franchise. They didn't want to show that. You know, they didn't show me as, really as a mother and my two beautiful children and being in an interracial marriage and, you know, how hard it is to be in an interfaith family. So I don't think that they show that. They didn't show. I think people saw parts of the dedication I have for family, seeing my mom and my sister a lot. That's what the show was about for me, generational wealth and the sacrifices that family has made. My mom made so many sacrifices for me and my sister to be college educated women. So I couldn't imagine going on the Married to Medicine journey without sharing that with them. So no, I don't think that the show necessarily showed me in the most accurate way. I think they wanted me to be the villain. And I don't mind being the villain every once in a while, but that's not, I have a big heart and that's, I just think they just show one aspect of me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, can you tell me how your family has been affected or benefited from your vision, the actual vision that you created? Because I saw the pilot for your show and the legacy that's being created by being the creator, the executive producer, and this hit reality show that your brainchild.
Secure the legacy and secure the bag. I think my family has benefited because for me, it was important for my children to see me create something, break glass ceilings and know that the sky is not the limit. You can go far and beyond. So that was important for me to be able to do that. And I think, the biggest thing for Aiden and I has always been for our kids to be able to go to college, no debt, be debt free. That was the beauty. I walked into a marriage where my husband had no medical loans. People don't know that. They talked about me like a dog, but we kept a very consistent life. Same house, same cars, everything, the entire show. So I think being able to create a certain lifestyle for the kids is very important for me. I would love for them to be practicing doctors and not have millions of dollars in debt like a lot of people do, be debt free. So I think that in itself, they have a head start. I had college loans, let me be very clear. I went to Tennessee State University and graduated from University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. And I had student loans. My husband did not, and so that was a beautiful situation for us.
Absolutely.
So
yeah. And your family is just, I look at your IG lives and your photos and your posts. Your family is just beautiful, Dr. Aiden, and your son and your daughter. I wish we had seen more of your family. They just hid your family from us.
You know what? I used to wish that too, but I think it was a blessing in disguise because my kids ain't really into it like that. Lauren is a sophomore at Spelman. Ethan is a senior in high school, getting ready to go off to college. He's a co-pilot. He'll have his pilot license by the time he graduates. Hopefully, he'll be headed to Hampton or Embry-Riddle. And they're just not that into it like that. I mean, it was playing the other day because I was watching it for this, and Ethan got up and walked out when he seen somebody come out of the casket. He said it was cringy.
He didn't want no parts of it.
Like, my son got up and walked out.
No parts of it.
Yeah, so they're not really that into it like that. So it may be good that they weren't shown like that. They're not really. They don't really care about all that. Yeah, we've been traveling the world long before the show. They like to travel and read and hang out with their friends. They're not really into all that.
Legacy. They're creating memories.
Yeah.
And it could be political. And speaking of politics, do you think politics played a part of what ended your time on Married to Medicine?
No, I think money played a part. And power.
Let's get into it.
And maybe hell. I mean, that is politics when you think about it. I think that just, I think you said it in the beginning. I'm the first African American woman to create a franchise at Bravo, and to create executive producer and star in a franchise. That in itself tells you, that was pretty heavy. So. Yeah, it was probably political because we all know what I brought to the show, on camera and behind, the scenes. So, I mean, I think you can answer that question for yourself, Monica.
Yeah.
You know what it was.
And
the ladies knew what it was. That's the disappointing part. Meanwhile, we saw them seasons later marching in Washington, for, equal rights and Me Too and all types of things. But when they were a part of it and could have had a voice for someone who needed a voice, they did not. Yeah. None of them.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks volumes about the doctors and their wives.
Yeah. They were very intimidated from day one. I think after your first season, I don't think you ever had a easy season after season one.
The crazy part about it, Monica, is people saw, I felt like a lot of the situation with me, people saw it. And in hindsight, if you go back and watch it, whatever you think you saw in front of the camera, I want you to know I was fighting hell behind cameras. Every scene, it got to a place where my family didn't want me to show up to a scene by myself. That's why my mother would come to scenes with me and my husband and my sister, because I had no advocates, and it was really, really hard. So yeah, it was tough. Every scene, because they wanted my show that damn bad. Like, I didn't realize it initially, but since season one, there was a goal, and it was to kick me out, put me on the island or whatever. But like I said, it was gonna take an army and a navy. It did, but I mean, she cute and corn, she high.
I remember we've had many conversations, and it was just unbelievable. One hurdle after the next. One thing, you never had a moment to breathe.
No, not at all. They kept their foot on my neck, baby. Stilettos.
In the neck.
Yeah.
Who would you consider to be the biggest crab in the bucket in all of this?
I think that they are marching to the same beat so much, I can't tell anymore. They're all following each other. Nobody has a voice anymore. I don't know. They're starting to do the same thing, vote the same way. It's so stupid to me. I mean, it's so petty and minuscule. I don't know. I'm being honest. I don't really know anymore. I mean, they feed off each other. It's toxic energy amongst them now. They feeding off each other. I really don't know anymore. I thought one person was pulling the strings. I can't even blame the producers because they'll ask you to do anything. It doesn't mean you have to do it. You can say no. You can. And so I don't really know. I don't know who's feeding. I think that a lot of it, though, is everything that they were saying about me is how they are. I think they feel like they're the core group. You keep hearing this core and the originals, and like there's a sense of there's supposed to be loyalty or entitlement, for them to be there. And I just find that awfully ironic. When they were cast on the show themselves and could always be cast off.
Employees.
So I just find it awfully ironic that they're all feeding off each other. I think that they're doing that, a lot of the originals, because they're nervous. And if they don't stick together or pretend to, then it kind of defies the whole concept of an ensemble cast. And that's why they're saying the stuff to Quad, like you're being iced out, you're not a part of the group, you don't want to, you don't want to be here. And I'm not saying that she does, I don't know. But I know that is a part of the language and the narrative. Those are the same things they said to me, so I just know that is a script that they kind of regurgitate amongst each other. I remember saying to one of the doctors saying to me, I think it was Dr. Simone, I remember going to her crying and saying, this is just wrong. I feel like y'all, and I ain't no punk, like I can take it, I ain't no punk. But it was hard. I said, Simone, what's up? Like, y'all just coming to me, I feel like y'all ganging up on me. Like, I don't get this. This ain't good. This is not even good for the show. Like, why are y'all doing this? She said to me, I'll never forget, the audience loves when we come up against you. So in their mind, I think it gets more ratings. I think they get more ratings or, in their mind, or it gets more talk or hype or whatever. So they think it's cute.
And it's not. It wasn't cute.
It's not.
To witness.
It's not.
No.
Even if it's quieter, for me to say that, you have to know. I mean, I think it's horrible that none of them would stand up. And I don't know what Quad did to them. And half of what they're saying probably is true. But they went along with it. They created that monster. Yes. They went along with it. They cheered for it, back then. So why you getting mad about it now? Quad was showing up 3 hours late seasons ago. And I would be the person, because I believe, I'm always tacked and always on time, so that would irritate me, that when I get to a scene, I'm ready, let's kill the scene, let's do it. Yeah. 3-4 hours late. And I'm like, I'm not waiting on anybody to do a scene. I had a nanny, a driver, and a schedule. Time is money. Right. So, they went along with it and thought it was cute back then, but now you want to complain about it 10 seasons later? Nah, I don't about it.
Now they doing the rinse and repeat. The same thing they did to you, they doing to Quad.
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah. But she needs to understand that. She doesn't even want to accept that. She hasn't really, I don't think she's truly let that sink in. You got to be careful how you treat people. And I'm not going to even say karma or anything. I just think you have to be careful how you treat people and what you go along with, because again, what people will do to others in due time, they'll do to you.
Amen. Amen. Someone asked in the comments, I believe the person's name is Tay. She said, how do you feel about them using your video in the intro?
I think they use my video in the intro. I get Google alerts on every time they do a news article. They tag my name. The blogs has my name and all, so they do that. I think that would be a great question to ask those ladies. How do they feel? I'm not on the show. Yeah, and the bloggers, how do they feel about them still using my name in order to, let's say, stay relevant, but it's clickbait for sure. I'm not on the show, but I think I am synonymous with Married to Medicine being that I created. So I think it's a question to ask them, how do they feel with me being off the show for seasons. You know, I know Heavenly hates it because she said it one time. Let's not talk about her.
Oh yeah, she don't like that.
Hate
It's not like that.
Yeah, I mean, she shouldn't.
Ooh, I've got the question of the hour.
Come on, Steve. Question of the hour.
I'm just crushed, but I gotta say it. Well, ask it. Why did they have Quad on the show if she's not married to Madison?
My love. You know, I don't know, because for me, and this was, again, it's not about Quad. And so I just feel like the show was created to show beautiful, diverse, minority educated families in medicine. And because, you know, we don't have a lot of shows showing that. Not people that go with a doctor, you know, honestly. I mean, I know they're doing it on other shows, but I'm saying why this one was created, because there was a need to show families. And, you know, so I'm not saying they should have put her on an island, cast her off immediately when she divorced. I think they could have shown her dating life and been done with it, you know, or so be it, and wish her on her way. But I think with anybody, I think the beauty of Atlanta is, it is a medical mecca, especially for minorities. And there are a lot of great doctors and people in medicine that they could show. You know, I don't understand it. Like, they just want to keep doing this cookie cutter stuff on these shows. And I mean, the viewers need more. We want more. So I think it's, you know, she's moved on, obviously, to other things. And, you know, the relationship has probably grown. They've grown apart. She's grown in a different direction. He's remarried now. Let's see what Miss T or Sweet T has to offer. You know what I mean? Is she giving us honor Palmer? I mean, see, boots I want to see, you know. So let's just see where it takes us. So I think that we don't have to. I think we have so many people in medicine that we can kind of focus on that. I think that's what the focus should be. And the new generations, like, I'm interested to know, is Laura or any of the other kids going into medicine? I think it's a new generation. So I love to know that. I know Lauren and Ethan are pursuing medicine, and that's what it's about. So passing the torch. So maybe it's time for someone to pass the torch.
So, you know, looking at focus, we must keep that. Now, are you working on any new projects that you'd like to share with us?
Oh, yeah. I'm in the midst of a project right now. I'm sitting here at Sleek Studios, my media studio, co-work space. 6,000 square feet of fabulosity. We bought the building 5 years ago and renovated it a couple times. And it's a boutique media studio. And it's amazing. Full green screen, side wall in the back. And I have content rooms. We have podcast rooms, podcast equipment. It's absolutely gorgeous. Y'all know me, honey. It's seen too much and extra credit. But more than anything, on the south of Atlanta, we needed something as a creative hub. We needed a place where we can create content and shows. So Sleek is my new baby. And I am creating content. I have a new talk show. And I'm working on film 3 episodes with some of my icons, some of your favorites, right here at Sleek with a live audience. Produced by the absolutely amazing Jody Gomes, Emmy Award winning, Marilyn Gill, who did Roseanne Monique's show. Ogden Bass was the director. And this is a different stage of my life, and I just feel so blessed to be, you know, still in TV and being able to provide a hub for other people. I just want to see people keep creating, and I want to be a part of that. So I'm really excited about this next chapter. So I haven't been gone, honey. She's been working. Sometimes you gotta go underwater.
Yes.
You know, yeah, you do, and glow up. You know, when you show up, you need to glow up. And it's about to be a whole lot of glowing up going on.
You are
Well
You are
done.
glowing, you are stunning, and we are so proud of you, beautiful Black woman.
Thank you.
So proud
Thank
of you. You know,
Thank you.
before
I'm
we
proud
get
of
out
you
of
too.
here,
I am. You know,
before we
that's
get out of here, I gotta get your opinion, Mariah. I gotta get your opinion. What are your thoughts on Phaedra joining the cast? And did you see the episode where she was in the church with the casket and had the funeral and Quad popped out?
Wait a minute. Say the last part again. What are my thoughts on Phaedra joining the cast, and what else?
They had a whole funeral scene. Phaedra, she's a funeral
that's too
director.
far. Okay, so
Yeah.
my thoughts on Phaedra joining the cast of Married to Medicine is, girl, get you an easy coin, because that's what it seems like it is. I don't understand the connection or parallel unless she's representing one of the ladies in from the malpractice situation. I don't understand the connection. She's not married to medicine. Married to a father. Yeah, oh, wait a minute. I
Married
don't
to the
understand.
mortuary.
I believe that Phaedra is good for TV. I believe she's shown that. And I think she deserves something in Law and Liars, or, I like to see her.
Well, listen here, child. It's a lot. We're going to do a breakdown of everything that's going on. I just wanted to bring to you the most important part is mariahhuq has spoken up. She has broken her silence. Buffie is vindicated and redeemed. And Dr. Jackie is exposed. You know what I mean? When we talk about childbirth and things like that, it gets very, 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 oh my goodness. I lost my nephew just the other day. So I'm going to go ahead and get offline. This happened. Yeah. My niece was in ICU, and my niece is a Black woman. So when we talk about situations like this, Black women crying wolf, my niece lost her child. And they were forcing my mother and family, or even her, to make a decision. When a woman loses her baby, give her time to bond with her baby. I love you all. Until next time, so long.